Well, for those of you who are new, welcome to Mastrius. This is our monthly painting challenge, one of our most popular events. We'll be meeting Marjorie Mae Broadhead here in a minute, and she's going to chat with us about her sunflower painting, and then we're going to paint it together. And in 1 week, same time, same place, same link, we're going to meet again next week, Friday, and look at everyone's paintings. Oh, Marjorie, there you are. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Nice to see you.
It's great to be here. I'm excited.
Sorry if the link was an issue for you, was it?
Oh, I got it figured out. Techno challenged, but I get there.
Yeah, no, I think there was actually an issue with the Zoom link, so it wasn't a you issue, and that's okay, even if it was. Nice to see you, everyone. This is Marjorie Broadhead. Do you want to be called Marjorie or Marge? What do you prefer?
People know me as Marjorie, but my friends call me Marge. So hey, you guys can be my friends.
Alrighty, so let's get the ball rolling. Marjorie is one of our professional artist mentors, and she paints in acrylic, right, Marge?
Yeah.
And actually, we met at church a few years back and worked on this large mural project, and that's how we got to know each other. So we're glad to have you at Mastrius. And yeah, let's get talking about your painting. I can share. I'll share the reference photo and your painting, and you can just talk about it as I'm sharing those images here. All right. All right, so tell us a bit about, okay, I'll share my screen. You are a primarily floral artist, is that right, Marge?
I am. It sort of turned out that way. I don't know how, but people know me for my florals. I paint a lot in anything. I will paint anything, but florals is my passion. So I go back to that the most. Yes.
Awesome. And today we're tackling the sunflower. Here is the painting, and here is the reference photo. Oh, I don't know why it's in a grid like that, and maybe I did something funny, but anyways. And so you set up your own still life and paint from life, right?
That's right. Yes, I set it up, and I try to get a light source coming from one direction, not too many, because otherwise you can get yourself into trouble. And then I'll take a photo, and sometimes I work from life, sometimes I work from the photo. Just depends on my mood. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Well, I love that. And your paintings are loose and energetic. I love your work. Tell me a bit about your process.
So I like painting in many layers. I think that's where acrylic comes alive, is when you put lots of layers on. And so I like that process. And so I typically will start with thinner layers at the beginning and getting to the thicker layers, because I like paint. So I want my work to show the paint. I want to be able to visibly see it, that it has some energy there. Yeah, so that's what I do.
Awesome. And how long do you usually do a painting? Will you sit and paint for?
Oh, it depends on the day. Oh my gosh, yes. If I get involved in one, I'm there for the day, for sure.
Oh yeah.
But if I don't have time, I like to do 1 hour studies. And I have learned that you can totally just learn so much by not being so stuck on one thing that you have to make it perfect. You actually learn faster by doing work faster. And so I'll do that. If I'm in process mode, I'll do fast and furious, because I actually really like that. It's exciting to me. I get bored fast, and that's a problem.
Yeah. Well, I hear it so often that artists want to loosen up, so I'm excited to watch you paint. And for those who are new, what we love to do at Mastrius is encourage you to create your own composition and paint it in your style. And I know some of you probably feel like you don't have a style yet, and the best way to get that out of you is just to paint, 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 and paint. And so you are welcome to copy Marjorie, and then of course credit her if you share it and don't sell it. Or do your own composition, paint it in your style, and then of course you can do whatever you like with it. And then again, we're going to come back together next week, Friday, same time, same link, and we're going to look at everyone's paintings. I did put in the chat, and I'll put it in there again. You can post it on Instagram, hashtag Mastrius Painting Challenge, or email it to ginger@mastrius.com. All right, let's get started. I'm going to paint along with you too, Marjorie, but feel free to just talk about your process, and I'll keep you pinned.
Okay, so today I think we'll just follow the grid pretty carefully because I don't want to do things too crazy when I'm on here. And I'm sorry about this little thing. My blinds are creating this little dot thing on my canvas. I'm sorry about that. Don't know what to do about it. For a while, the sun shifted and it went away, so I thought it was okay, and now it's back. So
no worries.
Okay.
I'm going to add the reference photo into the chat so you can click it.
So when I paint, I tend to go loose right from the beginning. If you want your painting to be loose, you have to start there. You don't get loose after the fact. You go right from the beginning. I just like a general idea. I don't want my lines to tell the whole story. It's just an approximate, and then I have free liberty to do, whatever makes me happy at the moment. And so my paintings tend to be that way. They just turn out, that way, because that's the way I like them. And I won't draw in every petal because that is just the most important part about this little flower is the edges. And at this moment, that's the most important part. And so that's what I'm just, because it's going to get all covered up with paint. There's no point drawing that much in. But it's just these little edges here. And this negative space around here is what you're looking for when you're drawing, because you want this to be, like I put it a little bit down from the top. You don't want it to sit right at the edge up here, or otherwise it's a little uncomfortable for your composition. If you're going to do that, put it right off the canvas, but don't just sit it right at the edge. And those are just composition, guidelines.
Perfect. I just shared the reference photo and the photo of her painting in the chat. So you can click on those and that should open them up for you on your desktop or wherever you are.
And so when I draw my little jar or vase, I guess it is, I'm going to put it right off the edge. I'm not going to put it like the reference. That's your own personal choice. But I'm just putting mine right off. And I don't like to spend a lot of time drawing. I just want an approximate guideline of what I'm going to do.
I'm going to share the reference photo one more time. I just shared it, Kathy. Can you click that and see if it opens? In the chat, you don't see a link. Is anyone else having it? Has anyone else seen the link and opened it successfully? It's in the chat.
You have to click on it and download it, and then so I just download it to my downloads folder, and then you can open it from there. It doesn't actually show up in the.
No, yeah, it's just a link that you have to click, and then it will. Oh, great. Okay. Open successfully. after adding JPEG to the end of the file name. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I see JPEG on the link, but yeah, that's interesting. Give it a click. If it doesn't have .jpg, add that. Okay, good. Looks like you're having more success. You don't even see a link address. It should just look like a box with an image square. Just click the box. See if I can send it to you directly. Okay. Oh, thank you, Abby. All right, Abby's works. Okay, there you go. Marjorie, are you outlining drawing in black?
I am, and I do this sometimes with my paintings because I like line, and sometimes these lines will show up in my work. And so I'm not being really precise. I don't care if they're a little bit wonked. I prefer that because I'm going to use that in my painting.
Awesome.
And yeah, I don't always do this, but it actually shows up well for you guys to see what I'm doing. And it's actually a good just practice to be loose. Like just use your hand at the end of your paintbrush. None of this going on, okay? None of this. Like at the back, because then there's not as much control and you get these fantastic little unexpected marks that just happen. That's what you really want. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And do you paint in heavy-bodied acrylic?
Yes, I paint in Nova paint, and it's sort of it's between a heavy body and a fluid. I kind of like the consistency. I find the golden paint is heavier than what I really prefer. So I really enjoy working with the Nova paint.
Okay.
And I was talking with someone recently, and they were, I think the paint was Prona, and they said it had I believe that is a Canadian brand out of Vancouver, and it's more of the consistency of Nova. So I'm going to investigate that because it's always nice to support Canadian too, right?
Yeah, and that you said it was Chroma?
Yeah. And I have not investigated that myself, but I looked up the website and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like this looks good. And it is Canadian. And I'm thinking, well, you know, we've got to do what we can to support where we are. Okay. So do you want me just to get started, Julie? Do you have anything to say here?
No, you just dive right in. Just
okay, I'll just dive right in. I tend to like a big brush because we have to cover this little canvas fairly quickly. So we have to do that with less strokes, energetic strokes, and hopefully some really good color. Mm-hmm. So you guys all know my colors because you've got it all written out there for you. So I'm not going to go over that. I like to get my darks and my lights in first. Today I'm going to start with my lights. I do that just to I go back and forth because I have to check out how it's going. So I'm going to put in some lights first and then I'm going to go for the darks. So I've got the lightest yellow and my titanium white, and I'm putting that on. And this will definitely change, but I'm just giving it and some of my black, as you can see, isn't dry, so it's mixing in that is 100% fine.
Okay. Add some interest.
Yeah, it just adds interest. I like my strokes to, like I say, I like my paint to say paint. And so I tend to paint pretty heavy and do what I can to make the paint make the statement.
Mhm.
That's my goal.
How's your mentorship group going, Marge?
Oh, I'm enjoying this so much. Oh my gosh. Getting to know the ladies and yeah, we have a lot of fun in my class. Yeah, I'm really loving it.
Mhm.
You know, you don't really know what to expect, but yeah, it's good experience. Good for me, and I think we're all enjoying it. I hear that they're liking it, so I guess that's the point, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I just had my mentorship group last night, and man, I really enjoy it too. It takes I have to really forces me to learn more and to know better what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, to be able to teach it. It's,
Exactly. Yeah. Can't teach something if you haven't experienced it, right? Yeah.
or you don't know how to verbalize it even.
We have a few questions here. Members are just curious what brush and size you're using, the type.
Okay, so I go for the cheapest ones I can get at Michael's. So this is a simple Simmons, and it's a 1-inch brush. I buy these because I routinely ruin my brushes. I'm very hard on brushes, and I just say, well, I'll throw them out because they're like $2.50 on sale. So I don't care. They'll do me about a month, maybe max. If I'm doing a big painting, I'll wear one out in a big painting. But I just decided I didn't care. Yeah.
And what colors are you using right now? Which yellow are you using?
Okay, I have here a Hansa yellow light, and I have a cad yellow, I have yellow ochre, and I have a cad red, I have a titanium white, and a bone black. I'm really liking that bone black. It's such a wimpy color. What it does for you is it doesn't take over your painting. It doesn't deaden everything. It just neutralizes it. It gives it a little, and I love that. So it's been my new little find that I like. Yeah.
Cool. And yeah, reference photo. If you just download it and open it up on your computer screen, you should be able to have Zoom and another screen open.
So I like to bring up my painting all at the same time. I don't want any part finished right now, because if you start making your painting too beautiful, then inevitably you're gonna be doing something that you don't like, and you're gonna have to change it. And so just bring up the whole thing at the same time, and nothing's finished. It's just these layers, and I'm getting my green by using the black and the yellow.
Great. Yeah, members were just wondering if you could tell us how you're using the colors when you change there.
Yeah. So that little middle part here, I've used the bone black and the yellow. And I mean, I just dip my brush in whatever yellow I feel like at the moment. But that one was the lightest yellow. And if I want my little leaves that I'm going to put here, I want a little darker black, then I'm going to use the cad yellow. I'm going to just see this out. And sometimes what I'll do, I'll just throw a little bit, like I'm talking like a little bit like that on the edge, and throw that into my leaf. And it gives it this olive green color that is just so beautiful. Like, it's just like, look at the color, like it's so rich. One thing that I find when you're painting is every color should, or every little spot should say color. It shouldn't say mark, it should say color. Even if it's a neutral, it should still say color. And then you're not looking at paintings that don't have vibrancy and stuff like that. I'm letting this little leaf come right off. I'm even letting it come down a bit. And sometimes what I'll do when I have another color, I'll make sure that I use this. I've got it in my brush right now, so I'm going to put the little stems in. And none of this is perfect. It's just there as a guide. Basically, I feel like when I paint, I'm building it from the ground up, and the layers just become more and more exciting as I put them down. So I'm always squinting and looking for things that I love and enjoy. And then I don't fix something immediately if I don't like it. I just carry right on, because I can use that in a different way in a little bit. I guess that's another way of keeping your painting loose, because you're not fussing at what you're doing. And for my little jar, I'm going to be getting my black with my white, and it gives me this really nice blue-gray color, and I'm just using that in there just as I just want my whole canvas covered with paint, not necessarily it's just building up the layers.
Do you ever start with toning your canvas in a color already?
Yes, I do.
What colors do you like to use?
Well, sometimes I use a yellow. Sometimes I'll use a magenta. Something very exciting. Yeah, it just depends on my mood. I don't know. What about you, Julie? What do you use to start your painting?
I always use primary magenta. It's my favorite.
Do you do that every time, Julie?
Yes.
Yes, so that's
my thing.
That's your thing. Yeah.
So
are you doing that today?
Yeah. If you can see the pink sunflower I don't know if you can see me on this.
No, I can't see you on the screen. So, well, I guess we'll see that later, will we? I'm sure.
And, I'll just share my screen here. Spotlight. Okay, this one's mine.
Oh, yes.
Color's a bit washed out on the screen, but yeah, and I paint in glazes and veils so that the magenta is always kind of warming colors, and then I don't, I leave lots of space around objects so that that magenta can kind of form the outline of my painting. Yeah.
Jennifer, go ahead and ask your question if you have one.
Well, for one thing, I can't see Julia's work. I only see her. And also, I was just wondering how Marjorie got the blue-gray. I missed it. I was dealing with my dog for a second.
Oh, the black and the white is going to give you that blue-gray.
Oh,
yes.
right, because you're using bone black.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of squinting goes on in these things, and just trying to make it as happy as you can and seeing what happens. And now I haven't used any red yet, so I'm going to throw a little bit of the red in there. I might not use it pure. I'll probably mix it with the yellow ochre and see what we can do from there. Yeah, I like to use a lot of line work in my work, and so you got to get it in now so that you can take some of it out. All of a sudden it's got really quiet, Julie. Yeah. When you get intense on your painting, it's you have to talk and think at the same time. Sometimes your brain goes into a moment.
Yeah. And folks, I wasn't sure if I should spotlight mine because then Marjorie's screen gets a bit smaller. But if you want, I can. Thanks, Kathleen.
And when I put the red up in the flower, I like to put it down somewhere else on my canvas because then my eye is drawn all the way around with the red.
Yeah.
And so I like to wing that. Just one of those little things.
Yeah, color unity, right? It's good to have some of the colors throughout.
Yeah, it just brings that eye right around, right? You've got to do that so that people are looking through the whole painting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like to drag my brush a bit, like I like to just make the paintbrush or the strokes very energetic. So I do a lot of dragging and not real precise. Just like the energy it gives.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I know this isn't done, but I'm going to do the background right now because I like doing several layers. So I got to get that painted in. I'm going to go from I'm going to go for a dark at the top and lighter down here. And I'll probably go darker on the left corner and grade it to a lighter on the right. To do that, I typically use all my colors that I use. I mix them together and come up with a nice little color that makes me happy. So I'm gonna, whoops, oh my gosh, how did I do? I got some blue on my thing. Got my brush in the wrong thing. Change my brush.
Diana, you can't see Marjorie's close up. I have spotlighted her screen, so I'm not sure if you're not seeing her large. Anyone have an idea what Diana needs to do?
If you click on your view button in the top right-hand corner and make sure you have on speaker view,
That's
then
it.
that should change it. So,
Okay, speaker view.
just the upper right-hand corner there, Diana, sorry, I'm looking really far away from the screen.
Top right hand corner of your Zoom screen. Yeah, there's a little view. Then click on that and then switch it to speaker view.
I like to see the background where it's graded from dark to light. It's just another dimension that you can add into your work and it looks nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that gives that an idea.
What color did you paint the edges, and what color are you mixing? Yeah, what color are you mixing there?
So what I did is I put the black and the red just a little bit of the red. It gives it a little bit of a warm color. It looks black, but it has the red in there. And then when I go down here, I'm mixing that with a whole lot of white. And I might actually put a tad of the yellow in there just to warm it up, just to make it muddy, but also have a color. I find when I put too much white in my work, it feels a little chalky. And so I like to add a color to the white. And it's still gray, but it has a color to it.
Sorry, I don't have any hand gesture here, but I want to know what color did you use for the greens here?
For the greens?
Yeah,
It's the black and one of the yellows.
okay, thanks.
And if you wish, you can throw a little bit of the red in there and it will give you a little bit of an olive look. And sometimes when I've got, whoops, oh my gosh. Sometimes when I have that color in my brush, I will literally just take it and drag it down on top of my flowers because it just gives it a little bit of a, it mutes it out. And I'll just do that occasionally, just because I might like that, that feel. And I've got a bit of a shadow down here, so I'm going to make it a little darker. So I'm going for the white and a little bit more of the black. Don't want to see a huge color change, but I want to see a color change.
For those of you who don't know, at Mastrius, we have a promo ending today. It's the events membership. We have 1 month for free, and that gets you into our weekly live events, which are like, we have 2-hour demos, we have panel discussions on important topics like how to price your artwork, how to put together a body of work, how to sell online or be represented by a gallery, all sorts of different topics. And we also do live critiques together. And so, yeah, that will be ending the end of day today at like midnight or whatever. So if you haven't, go to mastrius.com and there's a purple banner at the very top. You can click that and then use the code that it says there, try it free, and then you'll get that events membership for 1 month for free. You also get access to the event recordings and you get added to the online community so you can start to get to know other Mastrius artists and mentors. Little plug there, shameless plug.
Is this a still life setup, Marjorie, or from a photo? Your reference?
It was, the reference was a still life setup, but today I'm working from the photo reference, just like everyone else is. But it was a setup that I did, yes.
Wonderful. And if everyone's wondering, Marjorie is painting in acrylic today.
Yes. So now I'm going back because I've got color on all of my canvas now. I'm painting a 9 by 12, so it's pretty, well, we'll see how it all goes if I can actually get it all done. Going pretty fast and furious here. But I'm going in the second layer now. So just to give all these little layers more vibrancy. And I'll have a little bit more paint on my paintbrush now.
Marjorie, how long have you been painting?
I was thinking about that today. I actually took a high school class, well, art through high school. That was years ago. But I actually started painting seriously in 2010. And I went into the class, basically didn't know what gesso was, and thought, oh my gosh, I just want to be here because I love paint. I didn't know a thing about it, and it just became my passion. I just thought, oh my gosh, I love this. I started painting almost day and night. I was just in my studio doing my thing, and it made me happy.
Someone is screen sharing. I missed the name of it. Let me.
Perrin is sharing. If you could stop sharing.
Yeah, you might have accidentally hit screen sharing, Karen.
I'll get her out. And now I'm just sharing for a moment, and now I'm stop sharing. There we go.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, so some people have been painting for 30 and 40 years, but that's not me. I just, but when I started, I didn't look back. I just kept going. I don't know, it just took over my life, and I love it.
Awesome. I started in 2010 as well.
When did you start, Julie?
Yeah, in 2010, same year.
Oh, really? That's so interesting.
And I had never planned on being an artist. I was raised by an artist, self-taught, very successful, my mom, and we were all very creative. I did lots of painting and whatnot. Or sorry, I actually didn't do painting, I did drawing. And then one day my kids started going to school, and I basically did exactly what my mom did, followed in her footsteps exactly. And that was not something that I had intended. It just kind of happened one day.
Isn't that fun? Oh my gosh. Yeah, my mom worked in pastels, and she did beautiful work. So there you go. I guess we both copied our mothers. That's good, isn't it? Our mothers are great. I love them. Yeah. But yeah, I never expected my art to take me where it has. I was just going out there because art made me feel good. I liked it. So I thought, well, why not do what makes you happy? That was me.
Exactly. That's awesome.
Yep, that was me. I was so scared that first time when I walked into that art class. I thought, oh my gosh, like, I don't even know what I'm here for. And I'm with all these people that know so much. And I mean, that was in my head, right? And like, I know nothing. I don't even know what gesso is. And how am I going to cope? And thinking about. I think for me was just being willing to risk and do experiment and not worry too much about the outcome. I think that's huge, because if you get too caught up on being precise and exact, then you don't get the excitement that might start happening.
Well, I didn't go to my first workshop until I had been painting and professional 7 years. Like, I was so intimidated by the idea, and I was totally unaware of my gaps in knowledge. And then one day it dawned on me. And I went to a workshop, and everyone that's at Mastrius has heard this story 1,000 times, but it changed absolutely everything. Changed the way I painted, changed the way I thought about color, the way I put down paint, and then kind of launched my career because I gained a mentor out of that workshop.
Oh, so you had a personal mentor.
Yeah, David Langevin, he was my first, that was the workshop I went to, and then he stayed in touch with me because he saw that I was really pursuing my career. And yeah, he was a huge blessing, still is. Yeah, and so that's kind of, what we're trying to do at Mastrius is make that experience much more comfortable and affordable so that artists can do that much sooner than I did. Don't wait 7 years.
Well, totally, right. And what I did is this is so interesting that you're mentioning this mentorship, because I just became friends with the instructor of my first art class, and that was Sharon Williams. And well, we all know Sharon's in Mastrius, right? And I became friends with Sharon, and what I didn't know, she knew. And I'm thinking, okay, well, this is working for me. So, and we started painting together, almost weekly, I think. And we would take classes, online classes together. And it was, I think working with a mentor is the best, because then you have all the knowledge that, because I wouldn't have got as far as what I did without Sharon there for me. I just wouldn't have. There's no way.
Yeah, it takes years to learn all that stuff, and the mentors are willing to share it. And Sharon Lynn is here today. She's painting with us. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Sharon. Yeah, she was my buddy. So I would phone her. What do I do with this, Sharon? I don't know what to do with this. Should I do this? And many a call that we had, many a days we painted together, and all part of that journey that we're on.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh my gosh, I got to take a step back here because I don't know what I'm doing. You guys could probably see better than I can. I'm sitting on an angle, so it is a little angular. I can see that I need to do something very dramatic right now.
Mm.
Sharon always says to me, she says, Marjorize it. So when she says, I know that I have to do the unexpected.
Mm. We have about 15 minutes or so. Just a reminder for everyone that we're going to be meeting back together again next week, Friday, same time, same link, to look at everyone's paintings. So if you would like, you can submit your painting when it's finished to, you can email it to ginger@mastrius.com, or you can post it on Instagram and hashtag Mastrius Painting Challenge. And Ginger will collect them all. You need to submit them by 1 hour before we go live again. So that's 11 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Check it in your time zone. And then Marjorie and I will look over all the pieces, and she can give a little bit of feedback on your paintings. And the beauty is seeing everyone's style and composition. You're free to take this and run with it. Paint it in your style. And yeah, I just get to celebrate that together. It's so great to see everyone's unique take. Mastrius is a non-competitive community, and so we actually do give away prizes, but it's not for the best painting, because I don't know how anyone could ever pick a best painting. And so we don't do that at Mastrius. There will be a Mastrius member will win an apron like what I'm wearing, and a non-member will win a $25 Mastrius coupon to spend on absolutely anything at Mastrius. Could be swag or a mentorship group, whatever you like. Thanks for putting that in the chat, May. What size is your canvas? Marsh?
Oh, mine is 9 by 12, and it might have been a little bit of it's a little bit of a challenge to get this all done, Julie, but that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, well, we made Sharon do a painting battle with Cam Forrester. So they both had to do a painting in an hour live for everyone to watch and see. And that was awesome. They nailed it. So you're in good company. We love to watch our mentors struggle.
Well, it really is. I'm sitting like, okay, what is the most important factor here? Okay, get your darks and your lights. Yeah. And, don't worry too much about the little details. It's the overall impression and where you go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta. It's actually fun to paint. I like painting fast.
Yeah, it is fun. I find the faster I go, the more I kind of lose my style. But it's good to go fast and paint loose once in a while.
Just a little different twist on it, right? It's just I guess I enjoy it because then I don't get too perfect. Because I find that I start fussing and then I don't always come out a winner. I find that when I fuss too much, I tend to blow it a bit. So, but we'll see if we can actually make this look like a good painting.
Well, it's looking good from here. We'll have to get you to hold it up at the end, closer to the camera, so we can get a good look.
So I think I'm going to go through with some strong red now. Well, I'm going to put actually a hint of black in it because I want it to be a dark, dark browny color. Don't want it to be pure red because I think it might be just too much. But I'm going to just draw a few lines here and there. Just
I love the reflections in glass, the way you capture it. It's really beautiful.
Thank you.
I
I actually haven't done too much on this one yet, and my shape of my leaf is really crazy. We'll see how far we get.
Hmm.
Yep. It's kind of a weird little leaf there. It's just on a V the way it is, and it's kind of driving me crazy at the moment. I like to put a few little squiggle lines in white down in my glass. Like, let's see if I can do it. Like this little look.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then it gives it, and then if you do a few little dots, it just gives that little feeling of reflected light.
Mhm.
So I like to do that. Okay. That needs to be lighter. I can fuss with my backgrounds. I don't often get the color the way I want it the first go. I go and I change it. Quickly and fiercely. I guess I like to try on things at the store, so I like to try on paint colors too. That's how I look at it. I'm just trying it on. Do I like it? Does it fit? Do I like that? And how's that working for me?
Marjorie, what are your favorite things to paint? And where do you get your inspiration from?
I like glass, I like flowers, I like color. And so to me, if I'm not bouncing color around my canvas, what am I painting for? So I want to see what's happening with color. So yeah, probably flowers. I just gravitate to them. I don't know why. I think they make me happy. They just make me happy. A lot of people say, well, why don't you paint a landscape? And I'm thinking, yeah, I know, I do. But I always go back to painting flowers. It's my number one.
Well, you're good at it. Keep going.
But I've done a bit of everything. Like I've done landscape, I've done portraits, I've done, I don't know, I think that's important in your learning, just to go through and you're going to learn something from every single thing. There's not one thing that's going to teach you. It's going to be a multitude of different things that you can learn. That's been my experience. Okay, standing back here. Did I go for? So Julie, we have 5 minutes. So what happens?
Then we're going to say goodbye, and yeah, you can finish your painting to Marjorie and then send it to us, and we'll include that next week. We'll look at your new painting. And yeah, so everyone, you don't need to be done in the hour. You can take as much time as you like to finish up your painting.
Yeah, because it's a pretty I know with Sharon we would put on the timer for an hour and we would do a 6 by 6 inch, and some of those turned out fabulous, but you know, it's a bit of a risk.
Right, yeah, for sure.
You can't get everything happy. One of these days I'll do one that I just have to put so many strokes on the canvas. Oh, that would be so exciting.
Oh, you gotta count the strokes. I love that idea.
Like, oh my gosh, like I think you could only put so many on, and what would you do? Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll try that out. Just to see what happens, right? Because then it's exciting.
Totally.
You got to make it exciting so that you want to get back in there.
Can you hold it up to the camera for a minute?
Sure.
Oh, lovely.
That's beautiful, Marjorie. There's just a quick question is, why do you like using bone black? Besides that it doesn't dominate your palette, is it a cool or warm?
It's a warmer color. It's a warmer color, the bone black, and it goes neutral. Because what will happen with your carbon black, it will take over your painting. It'll deaden the color. But the bone black will just it'll neutralize it without dominating the color.
Is it similar to ivory black as well?
Yes, it's a bone ivory. It's basically, let me see, I think it's almost in the same.
Or maybe it's used interchangeably. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bone ivory black. So yes, that's what it's called.
Oh,
So
good. I picked the right black then.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying thank you. And they wondered what brand that paint was that you used for bone black.
I use the Nova.
Nova. Yeah.
Golden makes a great bone black, and I use fluid acrylic, and yeah, it's my favorite too. It's so transparent.
And Liquitex makes a nice ivory black in heavy body. Yeah.
Awesome. Are we for time? It is the hour. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us. And thank you, Marjorie, for talking us through your painting. Beautiful. Good to see you. And thank you everyone for coming. Head over to mastrius.com, grab one of those events memberships for free. Today ends tonight. And we'll see you next week. Same link, same time. Marjorie and I will be back and we'll share everyone's artwork, and there'll be a couple prizes. Lots of thanks coming up in the chat. Thank you guys. Good to see you. Any final words, Marjorie?
Oh, it was great. I enjoyed it. Thank you guys for coming.
Awesome. All righty. You can find the recording on our Mastrius YouTube channel. Share it with your friends, and we'll see you next week. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.